Well, it's been quite a week of Spring of Possibilities, and we are down to our final speaker. And Tabitha is my co-host, and we've worked together on this for several months. So I wanted to thank Tabitha for all the work she's done to help bring all these speakers together. And now it's her turn. It's her time for her presentation. So Tabitha Moore is the life and mindset coach of Your Best Life Amplified Coaching and Consulting. Tabitha has been studying and implementing transformational success principles taught by thought leaders like the late Bob Proctor, Mary Morrissey, Jack Canfield, Tony Robbins, and so many other great leaders for over 15 years. She believes we all have the power and creativity to live a life we love living, our dream life. Take it away, Tabitha.
Thanks, Trina. It's a great introduction. And I really enjoyed working with you to put together the summit. So thank you. Okay, so to start, I think we're going to do something to get us all relaxed. Everyone could stand up. We're going to shake it all out. So just shake your arms. You want to kind of feel like you're spaghetti. Just let it all go. Shake your body. Just let it go. You want to kind of just feel relaxed. You want to be a spaghetti noodle. We all carry so much tension in our bodies. We just want to have fun. You guys watching the replay, make sure you do this. We can't see you, but you want to be relaxed. This is your time to relax and listen. Everybody starting to feel relaxed? Okay, everybody good? All right, let's sit down and get started. Oh, I want to hook up my earphones so that all right. So everyone's all relaxed now. Yay! I want to say a couple things before we get right into it. During my talk today, I'm going to use the name Universe. This is the name that resonates with me. I invite you to change it to whatever resonates with you. I also ask that you be open to possibilities and ideas that come to you during my talk. Even if what I'm saying is not resonating with you or I'm not speaking something that is sparking something, I want you to take a moment and be open to the possibilities that it can spark something that does speak to you. And with that in mind, I'm doing this talk today with intention that each one of you will receive exactly what you need to hear today. So to get started, today I'm going to talk to you about 3 stories we tell ourselves about money that limit our possibilities for money success. Henry Ford said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So why not think you can and be right?" Tune your thoughts, feelings, and actions into achieving the things you want and expecting it to happen. That's very important. If you don't expect it to happen, it's not going to happen. So we need to at least keep a part of us. You get the idea that just a part of you believes and continue to hold faith for that little part, and the little part will grow bigger. And so coming up is where, if you have a pen and paper, or you can open a document to take some notes. And that way you can look at it later to explore it further. And I want you to look at things curiously and try not to be judgmental, but if something judgmental comes up, make sure you record that too, so that you can look at it more closely. So I'm going to say some words and do some things, and I want you to take notes on what comes up. Money. What comes up when you think money? Money. So write down anything that comes up. If you felt the tension come back, felt negative feelings, we want to have a look at that. Okay. The next thing is paycheck or income. What comes up for you there? And if it's holy shit, what did she just do? Write that down too, because that could spark something. Okay. The next thing is bills. Hydro, credit line. Do you know it's a choice whether you pay these things? Okay. And the last one is savings. What happens if your savings is zero? You got no money left in your account. How does that make you feel? What happens if I have no money in my savings account? How does that make you feel? What comes up for you? Okay. If you're having negative feelings and tension come up, you may need to work on your relationship with money. The world is full of energy, and money, it's just energy. If you feel bad towards money, money hears you. It thinks you don't want it, that you don't like it. Money, me and money, we're friends. We do great things together. You could be friends with money too. So, we're going to talk about money and money awareness and awareness and your awareness around money. Money isn't bad, it's just neutral. It's us that give the meaning to it. We can feel good about money or we can feel bad about money. It's a choice, it's awareness. That's how you choose. So we're going to look at how to feel good about money. Originally, I wasn't going to talk about money, but different things kept popping up for me in the news in my life. I felt the universe was sending me a signal that I needed to help people change their money story, especially with so much information out there telling people that we have money trouble. A lot's changed over the last year, and it can really affect people's money situation. The interest rates keep climbing. Housing prices have started to come down. The cost of living has gone up. Gas prices has gone up. All these things are things that the media is focusing on in a negative light. And then we start to think we're in bad times. Times are tough, that we don't have enough money. And the more we think this way, the more we focus on that, how tough it is, how we don't have enough money, the more we see that, because what we focus on expands. Did you know that the most millionaires are made in times of recession? That's because those people look for possibilities when everyone else is listening to the media about how times are tough and how everyone is struggling. It's the same idea as when you're looking at buying a new car. Suddenly you see that car everywhere when before you never even seen it. What you focus on grows. I want to repeat, what you focus on grows.
So I want to help people have a positive relationship with money. And part of that is looking at the stories we have about money and changing our limiting stories that are holding us back. I used to have a very fearful, negative money story. I was raised on ideas like, we don't have money for that. Money don't grow on trees, you know. What a waste of money. Why did you buy that? Some people have more money than brains. There was a lot of judgment about money and how people spent their money. I had a lot of guilt. I had guilt if I spent money. I had guilt if I had money and somebody else didn't. I had guilt if I needed money and I didn't have the money. I had guilt if I had debt. Guilt, guilt, guilt everywhere. For a long time, I lived paycheck to paycheck, and anything unexpected went on credit. The hole got bigger and bigger, and I felt worse and worse. I felt guilty and angry. I made sacrifices as much as possible to pay off our debt. And I felt angry towards my family because of that. They all got their birthday money and their Christmas money and their other money, and they spent it. And I put my money on debt. And later I realized that was my choice. They never made me, they never asked me to. That was my choice. So, and it was me that made me feel that way. They didn't make me feel that way. It was all choices I made, not them. I realized I didn't want to continue that way. I made good money, and where the hell did it all go? So I started devouring information on money and money mindset. I read books, I read articles online, I did workshops. One of the things I learned is to make a plan for my money, for my paycheck, my income. I had a system to pay myself first, pay my bills, my debt, and other things that I had to pay for, and then focus on having money. I created an account just to have money sit in it. We put money in it every single week. Whether I felt like we had the money to put it in there or not, we put money in every single week. We started with $5 or $10, and as our money situation changed, the amount we put in every week changed too. Whenever I was sinking into that scarcity mindset, feeling like we didn't have enough, I looked at the account and told myself that we have lots of money. We have money in here and it just sits here. We don't even ever spend it. And then I could start to see abundance and money other places in my life. I was focusing on my blessings. I was grateful that I had the money to pay my bills and that I got to have those services because I could pay the bills. From there, things started to shift because my focus had shifted. I focused on abundance and gratitude for everything I had. I was able to realize that we always had enough. The money we needed always showed up. There were always other possibilities I wasn't aware of yet. Eventually, that money account had $20,000 in it. And because of that, I was able to use some of that money to invest in my dreams. So now we're going to talk about the three money stories that limit our money possibilities. Number one, if I made more money, I'd have more money left at the end of the month. Now, if you had a plan, or you spend your money on, if you don't have a plan, or you spend your money unconsciously, your money will continue to disappear. More money will not get you ahead. When you want to buy something and you just check how much your bank balance is, or you pull out your credit card and that's how you decide, you're not making informed choices. It's the same as if you're trying to lose weight. You have to become conscious of what you're eating. And lots of times, the first thing a coach to help you lose weight will do is have you start a food journal. And that way you know everything you're eating. It's the same with money. You have to find out where all your money is going. If you're spending $400, $500 on Tim Hortons a month, is that where you want to spend your money? And if you don't know where your money is going, you have no idea you're even spending that much. So you can't even make an informed decision. I know it was like this for me. I got a raise every year and it never made a difference. I had no plan. I just spent that money too. I never had more money at the end of the month. So if you make a plan, you can make a conscious choice on where and how you spend your money. Money story number two. If you focus on paying your bills and paying off your debt, you'll get ahead. No, if you focus on debt and bills, you'll get more debt and bills. Where your attention goes, energy flows. Where your focus is, it grows. So if you're focused on bills and debt, you're going to get more bills and debt. I know, I did it. You want to make a plan for paying your bills and debt, and then focus on abundance and all the ways that money comes to you, and you want to be grateful for it. I was always worrying about money, worrying about paying off debt. I was worried if the car would break down. I worried about expenses coming up, picture day, Christmas, Easter, on and on and on. I worried about all those things. And you know what happened? It wasn't even those things that rocked the boat. It was things I didn't expect. They popped up out of nowhere. So I got more of what I was focused on: bills, debt, having to spend money, and it felt awful. So when you make a plan, you can be happy for the money you pay and then the service you get to have. So I'm happy to get to pay my cell phone, and I get to have the service of my cell phone. It totally changes your experience. Money story number 3, I can't afford it. When you're shopping and you decide not to buy something and your thought is, I can't afford it. For the most part, this isn't true. You have decided not to buy it and spend your money elsewhere. You have money in the bank or money coming in, right? Most of us do. So you could use that money. You could use your whole paycheck and spend it. You don't have to pay your bills. It's a choice. And by saying you can't, you've given your power away. You're focusing on not having enough. You've made that choice. I know multiple people who don't pay their bills. They get a whim and they blow their money on it. They buy a new pool. They decide to get a new car. They go and buy an engagement ring, and they don't worry about their bills. They just have an impulse and they spend the money, and then they whine that they don't have money for their bills. I don't recommend you do that. Don't misunderstand. Do not do that. I'm just saying it's a choice. You're the one that has the power. And when you take back your power, you'll find more money and more possibilities on how to use your money. And you'll find more money comes to you, money you didn't even know you had. Now, these are just some of the money stories and we can have, and possibilities on how you can see the situation. You could see it another way. So today I've talked about money stories, money possibilities, money choices, and that's where I can help. It can be very overwhelming for most people to access their money and figure out their situation. And for the most part, we don't even know we have a money story. We just know we make good money and there never seems to be enough at the end of the month. And I got no idea where the hell it went. So what I'm offering is a 30-minute call to do a free one-on-one money assessment. We'll have a look at your spending so that you can find some extra money for the end of the month. And as a bonus, I'll give you a download to do an assessment of your values. So you can make sure when you're spending your money, it's in line with your value, what you value most. So for instance, if family is one of your main values and you never set money aside to do family things, you're not living your life in spending your money according to your values. So help you look at that. So I want to thank everyone for coming today, and thank you everyone for listening to the recording. And I hope you heard what you needed to hear.
That was so great. Thank you, Tabitha. That was so creative and so fun. And what I love about it is that you kind of watched what happened during the week and saw that no one else was talking about money. And it's a very important thing to talk about. So I appreciate that you brought that to us today. And I know that you specialize in dreams, and people cannot meet their dreams if they don't deal with some of these things that contribute to that, right? So
Right.
setting that foundation of the money awareness and that kind of thing is really important. So thank you so much. And thanks again for being part of Spring of Possibilities, both as a host and as a presenter.
Thank you for being my co-host. For me